Welcome back to the Peace of Mind podcast. I think, what is this, our 5th episode now?
Episode 5.
So we're grooving right along. Joining us today, we have Derek Klingenberg.
Hey.
Yeah. Eddie, if you want to.
Yeah, so those of you that don't know Derek, I first met him at Camp Miniska, a Mennonite church camp, and he was the camp director for me. You and Braden also went to Camp Miniska, correct? So, tell us a little bit about yourself, Derek Klingenberg.
Oh, well, I work on the family farm, corn, soybeans, cattle, cats, and I make videos for like YouTube and now TikTok and like Instagram.
Yeah, you would.
Because I get bored watching corn grow.
You wouldn't expect a farmer to have such an extensive YouTube career that this man has. Popular hits you may know include Bumblebees in the Hay.
Yeah.
Just look it up on YouTube.
It's a classic.
They're classic watches. So.
Farmer Derek.
That's what you got to look up. But, so I guess we should get right into it.
Yeah.
So, Derek, how did you get started with YouTube?
Well, I always done all this music stuff in college, and then I came home to the farm and I quit, and I started going crazy. I didn't know what was going on. I'd start writing sitcoms at home or something. And then, long story short, we started a bluegrass group called the Possum Boys, me and my brothers.
Yeah.
And then then eventually, it got popular in this area, and then we disbanded because my brother went to seminary, and so did Nate Sticky. And so I went and bought a video camera, started making music videos of the songs that I wrote, like Bumblebees in the Hay and Possum in the Barn.
Yeah.
I didn't know it. I think YouTube was invented when I was writing the songs, and then I just made the videos. It took me all year to do those two. And then I realized, I could put it on YouTube. Mm-hmm. And so then I went to my brother's house. He had internet, and so I put it on there. And then, anyways, so it took off in the area, and I started getting hired for gigs, and I was able to make some money and buy some equipment.
Like music gigs? Like people?
No, like videos.
Okay.
So I did white pickup truck parody for Mid-Kansas Co-op, MKC, and it went viral in the co-op world. and then I did 2 commercials for Prairie Harvest they ran them on TV.
Wow.
And then that was cool, but then I was like, I'm still kind of restricted to what I want to do, and so I really hit YouTube in 2012. We built this new shop, and I was able to do stuff on the green screen because it was hard to find time. And I went at it and trying to learn what to do. And the first big one, I guess, is What Does the Farmer Say? And then I played my trombone to the cows, and that was just outrageous popularity. Because back then it was a big deal. Like, I don't get interviewed by the news anymore if I get 1 million views.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Back then it was so new.
Yeah.
When did YouTube come out?
I think it was invented in like 06.
Yeah.
Okay.
And mine went up January 109.
Wow.
Bumblebees in the Hay.
It was early.
Was that the first video you posted on YouTube?
Yeah.
Then I hit it hard in 2012.
Yeah. What would you say your favorite project you worked on is?
I don't know. I really enjoy doing it. I like coming up with it, making it happen. And then I'm just sick and tired of it, and I'm ready for the next one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just like going through the process. I'm kind of tired of parodies, but my favorite video is still when Bethel came out and sang in the grain bin. Like, that was just cool.
Oh, yeah.
It was just fun. Like, we had a silage chopping crew there, and so they were bringing in loads, and my dad shut them down. He's like, you guys are done for like 2 hours. And so then Bethel came in, and
That's so funny.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So for those of you that have listened to this podcast before, we try to get, past Bethel graduates on here. Derek is an exception to the rule so far. Derek, where did you go to college at?
I went to K-State. My mom and brother went here. But yeah, I got an ag econ degree, but I did like marching band and glee club. And then I wrote a song called Grasswalker when I was up there, and I would actually perform that quite a bit at K-State. And then I started to learn that I was an entertainer in the way that I am.
Yeah, and you've actually spoken at Bethel before, right?
Yeah, I spoke at Convo one time. And people were laughing pretty hard. I got Bill Esch was standing in the back, and he just lost
Oh
it.
yeah.
And we kind of had a conversation. I'm like, Bill, are you okay? He's like, it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I think it would be funny if you came to combos now. Like, I'm not even lying. Probably 90% of the people are just playing
on the
their
phone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and, like,
It's a
I can
problem.
change that.
yeah, I think it would be like, yeah, we just have people who just kind of like talk about the same boring stuff every time. So it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I spoke at Life Enrichment recently.
Mm-hmm.
They were a good crowd.
was that all the freshmen?
No, that's the
The older crew.
older crew.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, it's every Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, did you just talk about your life story or like your YouTube story, or what did you cover really?
Oh, I just talk about all the crazy. Well, I talk about all the crazy stuff that happens.
Yeah.
I mean, like when Cal Trombone blew up, it only got like 1,000 views Sunday night, and then I'm headed to rake some hay Monday morning, and they didn't have real time counting of views, so I didn't know what was going on, and it just kind of paused, and then it would just make jumps, and then I started on the way to the hayfield. I did an interview with the New York. No, I don't know. It's not Time. Yeah, New York Times. And then I couldn't hardly get internet, but it would make significant jumps all day. And then at 8:30 p.m., Ellen DeGeneres shared it on Twitter.
Oh wow.
This is all in one day. And then 10:30 that night, I did Royals by Lord, right?
Yeah.
She's from Auckland, New Zealand. I had a radio station in Auckland call me at 10:30, and I went live on the radio station.
That's awesome.
And then that next morning, she went on manually, or her people, and see, there's a melody match, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, but they couldn't really detect it was her melody, but she knew, and so she took the money rights away. Whatever. I feel kind
little
of
bit
proud
beef.
about that, but
She stole the money, huh?
whatever.
Little copyright.
For the trombone?
Yeah, the cow trombone.
That's kind of odd that you can do
It doesn't
that.
matter though. Because what
I mean,
came
just
out,
one instrument. It's not like you're
Yeah.
like doing like a band.
I would have made a significant amount of cash from that.
I bet. Because I
But-
bet YouTube paid a lot back then when it was first
I think
started,
it's
or
still kind of the same.
not. It is?
But that's got like 25 million views now.
Oh, wow.
Little internet celebrity right here.
But like, then we drove to see Kansas City and flew to Seattle for vacation to see her sister and whatever. And on the way, everybody was emailing me. So I gave my phone to Kara. I'm like, only respond to world news, national news, or like significant
You got your own
people.
little publicist.
It was
over
insane.
That's
And
funny.
then my brother-in-law set up. I would just start interviewing, and I would start early in Seattle and interview for news stations. Then I came home and I'd start at like 5 a.m. talking to Europe, and then we'd hit Japan, and then I'd stay up till midnight talking to LA producers wanting to do like reality shows.
Like, was it just off that one video, or did they
Yeah.
see your other ones too? And then
Yeah, they did, but that video
That was, like, the one that
got
they
me
were-
on
yeah.
everybody's radar.
That's really cool. Yeah. Those of you that know Derek, his life is crazy. All these crazy things happening to him at all times. You're wearing a NASA shirt today. You want to talk a little bit about your experiences in that realm too? Because there's any direction you kind of look, there's some crazy stories for Derek to tell us. So.
Yeah, like people ask me like, well, I had a sponsor for a little while, and they're like, what are you gonna do? What's your plan for the year? I'm like, I don't know. There's no plan.
yeah,
Like, and so at one point, I've always liked space, but then one day I was just like, man, I gotta learn about space. So I just spent all this time learning. Well, I've talked to you about it.
Yeah.
Learning about theory of relativity, and I'm always like, am I wasting my time? I can't stop. So I kept going, and then I'm like, I'm gonna make some videos about space. And so I started doing a bunch of that stuff, and then, before that, I actually got on like Discovery Channel or Outrageous Acts of Science because I would do some weird stuff. But then eventually, NASA Earth Science showed up out at my farm to take a tour because the director, Karen, thought it was important for her staff to come out and see what soybeans look like because they're watching the food supply, corn and beans, from the satellites, and they're doing weather, and they'd never seen soybeans.
So they just chose Kansas as...
Yeah. So I reset up my solar system model. I put hay bales up as planets. The first time I did it was COVID. Every mile was 1 million miles. Every foot was 1 million miles. But this time I shortened it to half a foot was 1 million. So I would take these NASA people and stick them in my spaceship tractor, and we'd fly to Pluto and back. And they thought it was the coolest thing ever. Because your imagination's like, oh, Saturn's way over there. And working with a government agency is really interesting. I could not talk to Karen. She's the director. I'd have to go through people.
Really?
But then we became besties, and so now I can text her whenever I want.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Okay, so then while I was in communication to come to my farm, one of the ladies was like, hey, this just showed up on my email. Here it is. And it was a NASA social thing. You can apply to do social media stuff at big NASA events, and this one was for a satellite hitting an asteroid called DART mission.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna get in. So the application basically said, why should we pick you? And so I have a hard time filling out things normally, and it usually gets me in trouble. But this time I was just like, well, I literally I have a history of ramming a lot of machinery into each other, and I also am responsible for the Starship 15 landing itself back at Brownsville for the first time. There's a lot there. Let's back up. So I went to Brownsville with my rocket buddy. I have a rocket buddy. We talk about rockets all the time. So we went down to see SpaceX at Brownsville, and we were gonna try to watch him land the Starship, because previously they would blow up when they hit. And we went out, and they were just about to do it, and they canceled it for some reason, and we were so sad. So we went into Brownsville, rented a trombone, and we paid in cash. And I was like, do you want to know what I'm going to do with this trombone? He's like, no. Okay. And so then we went to Elon's rocket, and I played Starships Were Meant to Fly with my trombone. And then we had to leave and go back home, and it landed it. So anyways, I put that in my NASA social application, and I got in.
They didn't even check.
They're like, we need this guy. And there was 1,500 applicants, and 13 of us got picked.
Wow.
And it was unbelievable. I went to Johns Hopkins in Baltimore.
That's where I was born.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
My parents were out there for, I don't know, 6 years, something. I don't know, something like that.
We flew to D.C., Kara and Kara spent the day in D.C. doing stuff. And then I went up there, and as soon as they found out I was a farmer, okay, the other 12 people are nuts, just like I am, but cool. This could have been a reality show. But I don't know. They thought it was so cool as a farmer, and we still are all buddies, and we'll have Zoom meetings or parties and talk anyways. So we got to see different missions they're doing at Johns Hopkins. Mm-hmm. I don't know. You probably don't want to know all that stuff. I got to go in clean rooms. It was insane.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
There was autistic people everywhere. They would freak out because they didn't want to talk to me. And then after the asteroid hit, I got to go to the press conference afterwards, and I study up on stuff. I was well aware of what was going on and who was working on it, and some of the ladies in charge came down, and I went into fanboy mode, and I was so jacked, just like James walking into the room, and I hit him with some goofy jokes. It was funny, but it was just really cool. These people are super smart.
Right, and you're in there talking with them.
Yeah. So anyways, Oh, and then I got to go have coffee the next morning with Karen. And then the lady in charge of the sun mission, flying a satellite to the sun, walked in. Karen's like, "This lady's in charge of the sun mission." I just freaked out again. It was so awesome. So I asked her about the sun.
That's awesome.
I got a random wild story if you want to hear it.
Oh, let's hear it.
Fire away.
Okay, so I was gonna go fly my drone and try to catch a fish.
Yeah,
And-
as you do.
Yeah, and so one morning there's no wind and it was perfect, and so there was nobody on the farm. We're supposed to go cut like corn and stuff, but nobody's around, so I just left and I went and sure enough, yeah, and so I went and I caught a fish with my drone. It was amazing. I went back and I edited it real quick, and I got an email from a London comedy show asking if I could come out on Friday and be on the show. And so I'm like, what? And I was like, I can't come Friday. I can maybe do it next Friday. But when you sign off, then, because in this business, people say anything. So
Right,
I
just-
never plan on anything. So I was like, when you sign it off, let me know. Okay, so then I put drone fish on YouTube. And then I was cutting corn. And then it started blowing up. And then I get a email from CNN. I forgot her name. Was it Cokie Roberts? I don't know. She's funny. She wants to do an interview on, it was Skype. I was like, okay. So I just left the field at the semi. We're cutting corn. My family's mad at me a lot,
Yeah.
because I just left. So I went home and I did this Skype meeting with her, or the interview. And right when we get done, they signed off on me to come to London. Okay, here's the problem. My passport expired. So did you know that you can go to like certain offices in the U.S., you can walk in and get the passport?
Really?
Yeah, so I drove to Denver like that night. And so I went to Denver and I slept in Lyman. I didn't really sleep. I was pretty excited. And then I got up at like 4 to look at all the semis. And then usually my videos don't get much attraction on TV, but the Today Show started playing my drone fish video. And so that was at like,
When was this?
oh, I don't know. It's been a while ago. 8 years ago?
Yeah.
And back when more people probably watched it. But like, it happened at 6 a.m. No, I was in Colorado. 5 a.m. No, I don't. Yeah, on Eastern time.
Mm-hmm.
So every hour they play the Today Show at 7 a.m. I don't know if you know that.
Mm-hmm.
So and then I finally had real time views coming in. And so I was getting 1,100 views a minute. And every hour it hit the next time zone and they would jump again.
Yeah, because
So then I went in and I got my passport. I come out in the parking lot and I had to do a bunch of interviews for the drone fish video. And then I got on like all the big fishing magazines and hunting magazines. I don't even like fishing. And I made it on all the, it's pretty funny. And then I went flying home because I have to go cut corn. And I got stopped for speeding in eastern Colorado because they caught me with an airplane. And then the cop pulls me over. He's like, "What are you doing? Or what have you been doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'll tell you."
I got a story for you.
Yeah, and then he's like, "Oh, you're a YouTube. I have questions for you." And so then after he gave me a ticket, he had to because the airplane caught me. We talked for like 20 minutes about YouTube. And then I went home. and then the next week I spoke at Life Enrichment. I've done it twice here at Bethel. And then after Life Enrichment, we caught a plane and went to Virtually Famous in London. You probably haven't heard of it.
I haven't
Have you heard of Kevin McHale?
The basketball player?
No. Glee. He was the guy. You guys probably didn't watch it. I didn't either.
Glee? I don't know.
He was in the wheelchair. Anyways, he's really funny. And do you want to hear about the...
Yeah, go for
Of
it.
course we do.
There's 2 tables. 3 celebrities on each table. I'm not allowed to talk.
Is it like a comedy show? Is it a
Yeah,
comedy show?
it's funny. And it was dirty right before I got on there. I'm like... But it was clean when I was there.
Yeah.
But anyways, I get out there and earlier, I'm not supposed to talk. They don't want anybody to know that I have an accent in case somebody hears me. But I go into makeup with Kevin, and there's a lady buying things on Amazon. She's one of the celebrities of this, and she's gonna be on this show. And Kara's like, "Don't talk." And Kevin starts egging me on. He's a really funny guy, and I'm not gonna just be quiet. So I just went right back at him. We start going at it. And Kara's getting upset, but I mean, this is my one chance to get my makeup done with a movie star and have fun with him. So this girl definitely knows I am from America, and then I go to my green room. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they brought me a trombone, and so I started practicing, warming up, and all of a sudden the lady is in charge of me. Oh no, I messaged her. I'm like, I'm pretty sure some of the people are right down the hall. They can hear me. She's like, oh, stop, whatever. So I'm pretty sure everybody knows that's playing the game who I am at this point. Whatever.
Is that the whole point? Is you try
okay, let me tell you what's going
guess?
on. So I go out on stage. I'm not allowed to talk, and they play 3 viral videos. One was the double rainbow. You've seen that one. Oh, it's a double rainbow. The guy's on his high. You haven't seen that one?
I don't know.
J-Mo, pull it up.
Yeah, Jamie, let's get a
It's
picture.
huge. and then the
Double
other
rainbow
one,
meme, or I don't know.
it's a double rainbow.
So it's just like they pick
Yeah,
like
just do
these viral internet
3
people,
viral
bring them all
videos.
on.
And they have to guess which one I made, and I can't talk. And so they basically judge you. Like one girl's like, I think one of the videos is this guy would make himself look old with a mask, and he'd bust a move and scare people.
I feel like I've seen that one.
Here, see if you find it.
Yeah,
Is
that's
this the second one or the
Double
first
rainbow guy, yeah. Oh, it's this one.
We'll throw it up on screen.
How
for
many-
you guys.
Brain is that? Can you do that?
Do you want to watch now? See how many views?
Oh my gosh, it is a double
No,
rainbow.
that's not.
I cannot believe.
So that's a rip-off.
But it's like that.
But okay, it's just like
51 million.
a
This is
dude
it.
out in nature.
51 million.
Whoa! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
That's really good.
It's the stupidest video ever.
Crazy.
He's just by himself.
Oh my god! Look at that! It's starting to look like a triple rainbow. Oh my god! It's full on. Double rainbow all the way across the sky.
So they were supposed to
Anyways. Yeah,
shoot
so
like
did I
gangsters
do
with it.
that? Did I bust a move? Or did I play the trombone? Yeah, the one girl thought I probably could bust a move. I was a dancer. But eventually the one table picked it. Well, it was the girl on Amazon.
So she knew because
Yeah,
like, yeah.
it's really funny. And it was fun to be there because I like how they do things behind the scenes. Like, they would be like, all right, let's come up with some cow parody song ideas. And they would just let it roll. And if someone had an idea, they'd say it. And then they piece it together and make
So
it
like you would
fast.
like kind of do some like spoof things like while you were on the show, then, or
While I'm sitting there being quiet, they would just, cow parody ideas. Or no, maybe that was after I said who I was. Okay, anyway, let me back up. So they try to guess who I am, and then once they find out who won and guess me, then I'm allowed to talk. And then they'd given me questions I could look at ahead of time. And then they asked me the questions and I'd answer them.
Sure.
And then they would do random things like cow parody ideas. And they're really funny.
That's pretty cool. I don't know anyone else that's ever been on
a British
a
TV
British
show.
TV show.
They would bring me food too while I'm waiting in the green room, like mushy peas and stuff.
Do you get beans on toast?
I don't know if I did that. Oh, I'd have pork and beans for breakfast with my eggs.
Yeah.
That was good. And then we got to go in a limo the whole time from the airport there, and then back, and then we got to just mess around for 2 days. So we were there 4 days.
It's pretty awesome. I never knew that you went to London.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
and since
There's
then,
a list of things that Derek is, keeping in his back pocket.
Didn't you like arrange your cows into
Yeah.
words that you could see from space?
yeah, cow art. Yeah, and then I added space. So first I would just put a drone over me, and I would draw like a smiley face with my feed truck with feed, and then the cows would gather around and
Right.
they would form a picture. I did that quite a few times. Nothing big ever came of it, but I had a lot of people in marketing hit me up that almost did. I had somebody out of like Manhattan, like New York, right? Working. I found out it was a cigarette company. They wouldn't tell me anything. They wanted to do a commercial, but it never happened. Wouldn't that have been awesome?
So awesome.
Cows eating the.
I think like if you could range him into a cigarette, that would be like the coolest thing ever.
I was like, man, this would pay well. Oh, it didn't happen. Like, there's a lot of almost.
I'll buy that
Right.
cigarette.
I'm sure that because it's probably like they just throw so many things out to so many people, and then
Yeah.
I don't know.
let's see what sticks. Huh?
And then I had a Japanese show want me to do it at Hollywood. So I literally found a rancher outside of Hollywood, but trying to get him to understand what I needed was a mess. And then he wanted all this money. But then the Japanese people were kind of clueless. People don't really know what's going on when you apply farming, so
Yeah.
it never happened. But I thought it was cool. I actually found a rancher that was gonna like let me use his land.
Just to throw some food out for the cows.
Yeah, and then I just took it to the next level with the cow space art, and that was epic. Yeah, I had a satellite fly over and take a picture of it, and that's how I got Discovery Channel over.
That's pretty cool.
I figured out when they were coming over. Do you want to know all this stuff?
Yeah, so we want to know everything, Derek.
Well, I tried. My sponsor was Farmer's Edge, and they used satellite imagery from Planet Labs, and they were a startup. Some guys, once NASA kind of disbanded in 2006, they went home to their garage in San Francisco and made loaf of bread sized satellites. So they're cheap, and they got like 200 up in the air, and that allows you to take a picture of the whole world once a day. So they're watching our farms. And so I was like, I want to know what time they're coming over. And they're like, no. I'm like, what do you mean no? I'm like marketing for you guys. But I think it's pretty serious. Well, it's pretty serious for safety of the country.
Sure.
Whatever the right word for that is.
Yeah, like national security.
Yeah. So I was so mad. So I walked around and I'm like, well, I know random things. So I knew that when they take pictures with like GPS and stuff, they want a good picture. So you want to do it in the morning. There's less chance of cloud cover, and the angle of the sun's just right. So they're always, and they're lined up.
So it's
over
probably
the,
continuous.
Yeah, they're going over the poles.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's a sun synchronous, so that they show up at the same time every day. So you're basically passing underneath them on the Earth
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
the same time, one round. And so I used my big grain elevator as a sundial, and I asked Farmer's Edge to give me the pictures of my farm, of like where our cattle are, because you wouldn't do that normally. And Farmer's Edge was awesome. They would say yes to everything I did. The lady in charge of me was she was the wife of the CEO, and she was in charge of marketing. She was from Russia. She was so competitive. She would do whatever I said. Anyways, okay, so I got all these pictures back. They're pretty blurry or hard to see, but I could tell it was 10:30 they were flying over, and so that's when I lined up my cows. Now, cow art is hard enough anyways. You can't have too much wind, and it's better actually when it's cloudy. It looks better,
Really?
and the weather's got to be good, and it's got to be dry where the cattle are. But when you do cow space art, now it's got to clear out the satellites. So you're just adding one more variable, and it's hard to line all those up with our weather in that time of year. I do it in winter time, and so but anyways, I got it. They all gathered around. It took a picture. I got it back on my Farmer's Edge account. I'm looking, oh my gosh, I can see it. And so boom. And then all of Planet Labs guys took me serious. The CEO followed me on Twitter, and all these like NASA smart people started talking to me on Twitter.
All right, we're back from our break. You want to keep telling us more of your crazy life stories, Derek?
Oh yeah. Well, I guess I could finish up on the cow space art. Like
Yeah.
So I have a question real quick.
Yeah.
How many, when you say cow space artists, how many people are doing this? Is it
okay, That's a good question. When I first did cow art, I did that. And then now it's like common.
Really?
Yeah, I know there's a guy in Nebraska that does it a lot. And then you see it all over New Zealand and Australia because sheep art is actually really cool. It looks cool.
So you paved the way for that.
Yeah, you're the pioneer.
I've had a lot of copycats for a lot of things. Like the grain bin, people do that. There's probably, yeah, that's all I can think of at the moment. But like, what I really like though is when professionals come out. Well, I just love seeing how they put stuff together. So like, like I had Nightly News come out. It was Harry Smith. Oh, I get so sidetracked. Okay, it's just fascinating. When we order concrete, maybe here in town, they can't find the farm ever. But when Nightly News comes out, they show up at 9 a.m. like they say. Like on the money. So Harry had this girl in her 20s and she's in charge of him and she would talk to me about when to come. And so what they do, I was like, how do you do the logistics? Well, they always fly direct no matter what. So they flew from New York to Kansas City, and then that night they drove to Emporia and they stayed there, and then they got to my farm at 9. Like, I think that's fascinating. Because like this is how professionals do things, right?
Yeah, just direct route.
And Harry is he's just, squirrel. I don't know. He's this good old boy. Him and my dad just hit it off. And he's so fun. And like, she's constantly like, Harry, we've got to do the interview.
Yeah.
The handler for him.
But what you don't realize is the guy is actually interviewing everybody the whole time. Just nobody knows it.
Oh yeah.
And he's not taking notes. And then all of a sudden we do the interview on the camera and he's just nailing it. And then he did the story. It was just unbelievable. I was really impressed because I didn't really notice him working. He was just having a good time.
Yeah.
And then when we got done, he's like, "Can we play on your hay bales?" So he and the girl just went and played on her hay bales because they love farms and stuff. All the news people that come out love coming out to the farm.
Well, I'm sure like they're just never around that, and like
yeah, and they get tired of hard news. And they always bring their cowboy boots, and then I always do a fun activity with them, like take them on the grain bin or whatever.
Oh, that's cool.
Drive around the 4-wheeler. Where was I going? Oh, and then the Discovery Channel. Okay, so like, okay, so the main, how was this? I think, okay, so they have a crew in America, and then they come out, and then they hire a camera crew, and then, yeah, I think they were out of Wichita, and then I don't know. Then they hire a drone crew from Kansas City for all the legality stuff.
Yeah.
You have to hire a drone crew. Maybe they're all from Kansas City. Yeah, the camera crew. It's just fun. Like there's all these things come together, and then they have no idea how they're gonna film this farmer. And so I told them, because they want hero shots, they want B-reel, and so I just told them what we're doing. I'm like, I'm gonna go stand on the top of my leg, 80 foot up, and you just fly that drone around me. That's my hero shot. They're like, okay. So they did. Or I lay down the cow pen, and all the cows gather around me, and you know, it's just kind of fun, like telling Discovery what's up. This is how we're gonna film
do.
this.
This is how we're gonna do it. Yeah.
And I just like getting to know all those guys, and I've had other crews come out, and we did one deal, and we ended up in the Flint Hills in the evening, and the sun's going down, and all of a sudden the guys are like, "What the?" And they just start cussing. Holy! They'd never seen anything so beautiful. The sunset.
Oh,
And so we just stopped, and they just stared, and then the audio guy started filming just the audio of a Kansas sunset, because he's like, you can't go anywhere where there's no like pollution of sound. So we all had to shut up for a little while. He's like, shut up. He's just holding that mic out there. Oh, it's cool bringing in all these city people and hanging out with them.
Yeah, showing them around.
Yeah, I this summer I went to Maine and I was like farming on like this kids camp, and they're like all these like rich kids, like one of like the great grandchild of like Vanderbilt, like that oil, like those like it's like those kind of people that go to this camp,
Yeah.
and they're like, they've never even seen a cow. Like when they
Yeah.
go out there, like that was like the coolest thing to them was to see a cow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
we take that for
and
granted.
it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, there's 10,000 cows just chilling, and just around, and there's people that just have no clue what that world is. But
Well, I mean, speaking of cows, you also got invited out to Germany for some cow related activities.
Yeah. So back then, social media was a thing amongst farmers in the U.S. because it was invented here, social media. But in Europe, it didn't catch on. And so they would hire me to come out as an influencer or whatever, just so people could see what I was doing, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So now, so I would go quite a bit. And first it was social stuff, and then I would start going to these big shows. But anyways, like, social media is huge in Europe now. It's mostly Instagram, and it's cool. I have a lot of influencer friends in Germany and Italy, and I've gone to there's two shows held in Hanover, Germany. One is Agritechnica. It's ginormous, machine show. And then they trade off, and then the next year it's Eurotier, and it's animal farming. And it's not near as big. But I enjoy Eurotier more. So one year I went, and I don't really know what's going on because the guy, my buddy that's in charge of me, doesn't know English very well. The farmers don't speak very well, but city people do for sure.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what's going on, but it doesn't matter because it's more fun that way.
yeah, I'm sure it is just like the awkwardness of like,
Yeah, so he brings me a trombone, and I'm like, what am I going to do with this? So there's all these like dairy cows there. It's inside. It's fancy. I don't know. So I just went down this little aisle where there's cows on each side, and I didn't realize it, but the media was there. There was 3 German TV stations, and they had people are very much against animal farming in Germany.
Oh
really,
yeah.
they're
It's
like they see it as like
significantly
unclean and
more.
like
Like cruel, probably.
There's
like
a lot
that.
of vegans there. I'm like, not whatever. I don't care, but it's definitely more than U.S.
Yeah, that's like in Japan. Like when we're going to a farm, and they said like when you get in, you can't talk about it at all because they would deny you because they see it as like dirty and like I don't know. That's like where sickness is and all that comes from. But that was interesting. But
Yeah, so so there's always picketers there, and so my friend's in charge of the media, and he's like, "Do you want to go interview the picketers, or do you want to talk to the trombone YouTube guy?" And they're like, "Trombone YouTube guy." And so I'm just hanging out with these dairy cows, and all these media shows up. I'm like, "Oh, okay." So they came to me, and they interview me, and at one point there's this gal holding the camera. And this dairy cow just starts licking her, just licks her from head to toe while she's filming me. Oh man, it was so funny. And she's holding it together, kind of, and she's smiling, or it's tickling her.
Yeah.
It's during the interview. I got my phone out. I took a picture of her. I should try to find it. It's my favorite picture. It's just, this cow's just got this. I don't know.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's funny because you just see like. I think that picture explains everything what's happening in the world. Like, cow trombone, what countries is it most popular? U.S., Germany, and Japan. Those are the most removed from agriculture. And I've gotten so much attention in Japan and Germany for it. And I don't know. Anyways, I'm kind of all over the place.
That's the way we like it.
So it was very popular that night on the German show. News that he said, which was good because they needed something positive. He also had all these young farmers ready to go to be interviewed also. While I'm there, I would ask, can I go on tours? And so he would hook me up with all these awesome tours. I would tour biogas. They're using all the manure from hogs and cattle, and they had a big subsidized thing in like 2010. And so all these farmers put it in. And so all their manure is actually powering their electricity on the farm and local towns, they heat towns.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool. So I got to go see all that. And I've toured a big mushroom farm, which is just huge rooms of concrete, but they have all these mushrooms. Done dairies. They're very innovative over there because there's so many people, and they've got vending machines along the streets with milk in them, or coffee milk, strawberry milk, and you can buy that. I don't know. Oh, I got to go to East Germany and tour farms there. All the farms there were created in 1990 after the wall, and they're huge. They look like the old Russian farms. You go inside, they're just unbelievable technology.
Yeah.
So I've been to Germany like, I don't know, 5 or 6 times. Oh, one year I made a video for Agritechnica. And then the last time I went, they just want me there because I just do weird things. And if they ask me to do something, I'll do it. No matter how. The more awkward, the more I love it. Like one time I had to they were interviewing different influencers on stage. And the lady in charge is like, I want you to just show up in your cowboy hat. I always wear the cowboy hat.
Yeah.
They want me to. And just, so I took selfies with everybody on stage during this presentation.
Like they didn't know like you're gonna go up there.
Nobody knew. Only the lady in charge and me. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, that would be.
I want to be so awkward.
Yeah, I think that's what's fun is just being awkward and just seeing people like looking around like.
Yeah,
Is
some
this
of the
like?
ladies
so funny.
freaked out.
Yeah.
One was a farm magazine editor. I became friends with her later, but she was not impressed at first. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm going through, and then the lady, one of the head ladies, was sitting down there, and she's actually a really big fan of mine, and we're buddies. And she was a little worried for a little bit, and then all of a sudden, the head lady brought me a trombone, and then I played my trombone at the end. I don't know. It's just goofy. But then, I was gonna go. When I got towards the end, the lady in charge of the show figured it out, and then she ran up to me for a hug or something. I don't know, it was great. Like, it's just fun.
Yeah.
People break out of their shell. Let's have some fun.
It seems like the theme is like all they really know, if they don't know you that well, is trombone.
Yeah, no,
Like-
cowboy hat, trombone.
Like
that's all
they're
they
just
want.
like, oh, it's that guy.
Yeah.
The trombone guy.
The trombone guy.
And then I've become friends with all these Italians influencers. They're really fun. One guy's he's super popular. He's got a TV show and everything in Italy, and we're buds. We're like brothers. We call each other brothers while we're there.
Has he brought you on the show?
No, I should go. I want to go over there sometime.
Yeah.
He would if I came over there.
What's the connection with Italy?
I would meet him.
Like he would go to the German.
They're all
show.
at the German
Well, I guess
shows.
yeah, because I mean it's like states.
And they all
kinda,
want.
right?
They want me to talk to all the influencers.
Yeah.
And then I just hang out with them and cause problems. And then
Is there? I would assume there's not very many like American people that go over there.
they're mainly working the shows. They're with like the big companies.
Yeah, just
They want more Americans, but it's so expensive.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool. I've had like my buddy runs the the big thing in Wichita where they teach other John Deere employees about stuff. I can't think of the word. And he's had overseers come over. Then they come out to my farm. And I was walking through the John Deere one, and all of a sudden one of the French guys started yelling at me. He's excited to see me because he'd been on my farm. That's just cool, you know?
yeah, that is kind of crazy.
Then, where was I going with this? Oh, so I've become friends with all these Italian influencers. And then last year, they they have an Italian tour that comes to the U.S. and they tour farms. And so one of the girls was signed up and she wanted to come out to my farm. And so that company asked if they could come out. I'm like, yeah. So that was last year, March. And so I threw a big barbecue and yeah. And so 23 of them come out and they're like, we're hungry. It's like 1:30. I'm like, I'll call the Pop's Diner in Peabody. And they're like, yeah, we'll take you. So they all went there, and I showed up. And then they had a big table. They're the only ones there. All 23 of them ordered a double bacon cheeseburger. Like, some of these girls are small, and they're just pounding the beef because they love American beef.
That's so awesome.
So they came out, and then, we had fun, and they had a blast. I gave them a tour. I had my buddy who, like, pimps out his cattle trucks. Mm-hmm. He came, and they had to ride in it, and that's how we did the tour. And they love. I don't know. I like to do really random things, and they had a blast.
Yeah.
How often do you have like groups come out to your farm?
Well, I'll have people hit me up. They want to come out for a tour, so I'll give them like an hour tour, and I don't know, maybe once or twice a month. It's less now, but I had honeymooners from Switzerland once.
That's awesome.
We always have the 5th graders out now from Remington. That's where my kids go to school. And that is a big deal. Like, I go to Remington, and boys will come up, 2 more years, I'm coming out. 2 more years.
What do you do out there?
Man, last time, I'm excited, they're excited. And they're just so jacked up. So I'll have them move corn from a big tractor loader. They run over and they dump it in the pit, and they'll empty it. Okay, first the boys go, then the girls. By the time we're done, the girls are scraping it out with their hands. And it's like, it's not very clean underneath. But I'm like, whoa, like this bucket is huge.
Yeah.
And their parents are like, I've never seen my kid move before, you know? And at one point I was so excited, we went on a run. I was like, because I run around the farm because I have too much energy. And then, so we just took off, and all the kids ran. The boys ran, all the girls ran. We're running. We come back, and then I'll let them go through the cattle chute. I'll pretend to give them shots, and then I'll educate them a little bit, you know.
A little bit.
Mostly while we're moving, because they're ready to move, and then we take a tour of the cattle feed yard on the bus, and then my brother's got a zip line. We go to his place.
Yeah.
It's on the north side section. I don't know. So they're all jacked. And this year Remington asked me to get my bus license. So I got my license to drive the track team and cross country team around. So this year I'm driving the 5th graders out to my farm. They don't know yet, but they're going to be so pumped. Oh, and then I let them play on hay bales. They just love that.
Yeah.
Hitting speed bumps in a bus.
Yeah, no, I got to behave myself.
You can go flying on that.
Yeah. That's pretty crazy. I've been out to the Klingenberg farm before, I can say.
I don't think I have.
Yeah, you haven't. I'm still thinking about having you guys come out. We just sit around a table and I feed you cattle feed or something. See who can do it.
I'd eat it.
Have you eaten a lot of cattle feed before?
Have I? Yeah, I've made videos of it. It's almost impossible to swallow though, because
so
of the
chalky.
hay and the silage. But I made cow feed coffee one time. I put it in the coffee maker and let it percolate through. I'm gonna make you guys drink that. That was at first. My goal was to act like it was really good, but everybody could tell at some point I flinched or something. It was okay at first. You're like, oh, and then it was just like, oh, and it just got worse all day. And so I just had to eat chocolate the rest of the day.
That sounds like
all day
one
long.
of the worst things.
Yeah, I'm gonna have you guys there. I just want to watch and laugh.
I'll do it.
We gotta do
See,
it.
okay,
I'll take one for the
can
team.
do it, yeah.
Yeah.
See, like, that's the kind of man we're interviewing right now that comes up with ideas like that.
Is it like you when you're like sitting on the tractor, or are you just like thinking of like your next like YouTube ideas?
It's hard to know how to do it. Usually it just happens when I'm bored and I should be paying attention. And then it hits and I'll start laughing and it's awkward. People are like, why is he laughing?
No,
I have a lot of awkward moments.
As we're kind of nearing the end of our show today, I do want to have one important question I want to ask. What would you say to like, someone that is interested in pursuing maybe YouTube or just, like creative like endeavors like that? What would you say to get them started out?
Oh, if you're creative, I had to overcome that. I'm like, I'm a farm boy, and I realized that I'm not just a farm boy. I'm very creative, and so just do what you want. And I did have to push myself. I learned a banjo during all this. I've learned how to edit, all the camera stuff, light stuff. I've learned a lot about like physics and quantum physics, whatever. Okay, but you gotta push yourself, like, and do what you're good at. Don't do something that you're not good at. Like sometimes you don't push yourself at what you're good at because it's easy. So I started pushing myself, and I would require myself to get things done, or I sit down and I require myself to write a parody. And then you finally realize that you're good at something. You don't realize what you're good at until you make yourself.
Yeah.
Like the space race, you know, we didn't know we'd go to the moon. It was forced upon us. Like, force yourself.
Yeah,
So I started doing that. And and then, but don't ever like one day I wanted to learn about quantum stuff. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? Who cares? Just do it. So you just do it. Like, let yourself do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do talk to other creative people that have been at camp, and they struggle with doing it. Like, it's all there. They just don't do it. I'm like, you got to work your butt off. Like, I'll get up super early, like 4 a.m. That's the only time I'll have time. But yeah, I don't know. For me, it's easier to do it because I just can't wait to do it.
Yeah. Can't contain it.
No, I can't contain it. And that's the other thing. Just don't contain yourself. Just do it. 'Cause creative people are weird. Like,
Yeah, they are.
and it's exhausting, but it's just too much fun.
Definitely sounds very rewarding from all the experiences that you had.
Very. Yeah.
I think my favorite story that I've heard from you is you had like a camera on some bald eagles, right?
Oh yeah.
And you would have like these people in Russia that would watch it, and they'd like argue in the comments. I thought that's just like the funniest thing ever.
Yeah, I put up all these live cams. Oh, and then I discovered I have a second cousin's husband he writes code in San Diego, and so like I figured this out at a family gathering, and so he writes my code. I do all the mechanical engineering for it, you know. But it's something else I learned how to do is, well, I've learned about code and the process of how you think, and I'm like, Ivan, how am I going to build this? He's like, just do it. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to do it. And then I build it.
Yeah.
That's weird. Anyway, so yeah, I love all the animal stuff. I've hooked up with this eagle lady from New Jersey. Like, I know all these professional people, and they all know who I am, like Kansas Wildlife Parks. Because I don't need to keep going on too long, but yeah, but then the whole scene on the live cams is insane. Like, I've got this core group that's been there like 6 years, and
just watching the live
Yeah,
stream.
just people that are interested in.
I think
this
that's
niche
awesome.
little
Just
thing.
like something like that. There's like
the community.
anything out there that like you couldn't fathom like yourself doing. There's someone who's like just devotes their time to that, and it's
That is
just
so
awesome.
good.
Yeah. Do you want to know what's happening? Do we have time?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can go.
I have 3 or 4 mods. You know what that is? They run my chat. They're all older ladies. One's in Oregon. I don't know where the one is. The other one is a retired dentist. She's new. And
Mod's band.
Mod Squad.
they're awesome. They welcome people to the, like, I'm never on there. I like to check in, but
Yeah.
they're like, hey, while you're here, maybe you want to watch some of Farmer Derek's videos. Okay, so anyways, so I come up with all this stuff, right? So on the deer cam, if you leave a super chat for like $1 or whatever, corn comes out. So these people are actually feeding my deer and coons, and I do have a cow cam. But if you leave a super chat on the eagle cam, it takes a high quality picture. And this year it actually posts to the Bald Eagle Instagram. And it has a saying like, this person took this awesome shot of these eagles, whatever. I even had it all plugged in. We asked ChatGPT to make each one.
Yeah.
And then the mods have access to my Facebook Bald Eagle account, and then they take all the pictures and stuff from the Instagram and they post it on the Facebook.
That's so
and they're doing a
awesome.
really good job.
They're just like, I'm retired, but like, this is my job now.
And they're so dedicated, and they'll tell me if something's broke down, and they're running the whole show. I just make sure the camera's on.
Right, yeah, you're just like the physical person that they're
It's
telling
crazy.
you what to do.
Like some of them talk about that's how they got through COVID, sitting in the
just watching
nursing home or
Bald Eagle.
whatever. And-
I gotta check out the
My
ball.
grandma actually watches their live stream. It's funny.
Oh yeah, I talked to her at church. She had to talk, so we talked about eagles.
She watches she watches that one.
Like
And
daily?
Like
little
Bigfoot,
little bear.
Little Bear,
Big
or
Bear,
something.
Big Bear.
You have a
yeah.
Bigfoot cam?
No, Big Bear is out in California. It's
Oh.
extremely popular. Bald eagle.
There's like 14,000 people watching it.
Yeah, dude.
All the time.
I saw it hit 60,000 when the baby was
baby's
breaking
out.
out. Mine is terrible.
This is a very lucrative
No, it's so
business
funny.
opportunity.
She I went over to her house and I was like watching like. She was like just showing us all the live videos she
Really?
watches. She pulled yours up. She was watching yours, and then she pulls up these other ones. There's one like an ice skating rink in like I don't know somewhere cold state. So you just watch people just just skate around the ice skating rink.
And those eagles?
Yeah, she watches
But
like
this is-
3 different Eagles ones.
Really? This is
funniest
so
one-
good for people though that are stuck.
The
somewhere.
funniest one though is like in like Vietnam or somewhere. She watches this like street live stream.
Oh, really?
So just watching people go up and like buy food at like these shops. It's like it's so funny.
Is she a moderator?
No, she just does it for fun.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day. Yeah.
You know, they have them on live at some of these old folks' homes here in Newton, actually.
I bet.
The bald eagle.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's
I
kind
just
of like
wanna share
helping the like the community. That's cool.
It was a tough
Well,
winter.
because then you can talk to people on there too.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like-
It's just this community, and sometimes there's drama, and I don't respond to the drama.
yeah, that's what I think you were talking about. There was like some
Russian-
beef between some people on
Were they
in the
arguing
chat.
about like what kind of bald eagle?
I don't remember what
can
you
you
had
argue?
said.
Well, at one point, I have an owl cam.
I think because the owls had taken it over or something.
Yeah, yeah, and they were afraid that maybe Clyde, the male owl, was cheating on Bunny, but I think maybe they do have more than one female they take care of, which is crazy because that's a lot of food to bring
Right.
into the nest.
Yeah.
But bald eagles, they're for life.
They're like
and
made for
they-
life.
That's what.
My bald eagles are interesting. They bring an ear of corn in every once in a while, and they just like, I think they eat it. They just pick at it for like a week, and then they bring in another one all year because you can find them at the inrows,
Right.
the fields in the husk, and then these two will both trade off. They'll both feed the baby, and I don't know if anybody's ever. The Kansas Eagles are a little different.
Yeah, we do it differently down here in Kansas. Yeah. Well, unless you guys have anything else to say, reaching
That hour mark.
the hour mark. Really appreciate you coming on the show.
Yeah.
today.
Oh yeah, I can talk all
Stories.
night.
Yeah, we'll have to have you on again because
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot more stories to
Yeah.
the story thing. Yeah, it's always. I've known this guy for many years, and there's stories that I didn't know about till tonight. So we'll have to bring you back on. But really appreciate you coming on. You guys have been listening to Peace of Mind. My name is Eddie Goddard.
And I am Andrew Schmidt, and we will see you next week.
Peace out.
Moo.